Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again. As always, a discussion tonight, guys. A discussion about Reform UK. More specifically, what's going on within Reform UK. Now, I don't know about you guys. I tuned into Reform's press conference they conducted earlier this afternoon over on YouTube, and it was as to be expected, to be quite honest with you. We had Nigel Farage on his podium, on his stage, giving it Billy Big Bollocks, saying how he's going to drastically slash immigration into this country, for example. I want it stopped completely for at least 100 years. Just enough time for the dust to settle. But that's just my opinion. I'm nothing more than a far-right extremist, so I'm told. He was also saying how he's going to drag us out of the ECHR. And he was also telling us, of course, how much of a bad job the Labour Party is doing with various issues that are currently bogging this country down at present. We have eyes, Mr Farage. We can see just how dire the Labour Party actually is at running a country. I won't trust these fuckers to run a bath. And of course we had Zia Youssef on stage as well. Nigel Farage's token Muslim, blowing smoke up Nigel's arse even, excuse me, as per usual. And lastly, they were championing their latest Conservative MP defector, that being Angela Jenkins. Now, I've got nothing bad to say about this woman. To the best of my knowledge, she's not said anything that goes against my views or my opinions, that kind of a thing. So she gets a soft pass on that score. But I have to ask you this, guys. When you have a party such as Reform UK that is rising, I mean, Reform UK is rising rapidly. Nigel said himself on stage that membership to Reform UK has smashed 100,000 members. Just to put that into context, guys, when Nigel Farage was in charge of UKIP and they got nearly 2 million votes and 0 seats, first past the post, thank you very much, they barely smashed 40,000 members. So that just goes to show how much of a massive incline Reform UK actually is. So many people in this country are putting their faith and their trust into Nigel Farage and into Reform UK. They see it as a massive beacon of sanctuary from the swirling shitstorms we are currently all caught up in within this country. They see it as a beacon of light from the shit we are all bogged down in currently. Now, is it wise to infect a party such as this that has so many people's trust, that has so many people's faith? Is it wise to bring over Conservative defectors? Conservative Party at the minute is finished. It's decimated. It has no one's faith. It has no one's trust. It is done. To say it's a sinking ship would be an absolute understatement. It's the Titanic. It's rusted. It's never going to be risen again, in my opinion. Now, I can foresee many more Conservative defectors coming over to Reform UK. And I can tell you why, in my opinion. It's because they're going to get their seat back. They know that the Conservative Party is finished. There's no coming back from that. So they're going to go over. They can see how Reform UK is on the rise. They can see how it's captured people's imaginations. They can see how much trust people have in Nigel Farage, how much trust people have in Reform UK. They are willing to scurry away from the Titanic over to Reform UK simply to win their seats. That's a bad idea, if you ask me. People in this country are not stupid. The British white working class are not thick. They can see what's going on. They can see the reason these Conservative MPs are coming over, and it's a bad idea to welcome them with open arms. A few exceptions, of course, such as Lee Anderson, a man who's got his head screwed on, working class miner from a mining town. Perfect for Reform UK. This Andrea Jenkins, I don't know too much about her, guys, so please do excuse my ignorance on this. She doesn't seem too bad to me. I've heard some of her speeches in the past. Her head seems to be in the right place. And of course we have Suella Braverman. I'd welcome her in 0.2. She says exactly all the right things. She just had her hands tied by all the wokies that infested the Conservative Party at the time. Of course, That'll anger the purists in this country, the white nationalists. They won't like that at all. They want a racially pure political party. And fair play to them. C'est la vie. I'm not going to sit here and judge anyone and start pointing fingers. And lastly, guys, before I go, I want to talk to you about Ben Habib. Something that's really upset me today to see him walk away from Reform UK. But I can understand why he has walked away from Reform UK. He has got put out on the washing line to dry, basically, simply to incorporate Zia Yusuf. Zia Yusuf, Mr. Money, with all the pound coins flying around the place. That's the only reason why he's in there, and of course to tick a small box on Nigel Farage's political CV. But he has said he's going to carry on fighting for the good cause, fighting the good fight in this country, and doing what's right for the people, doing what's right for the country, etc. And yeah, I wish him well. I'm just very sad to see him go, because I had so much belief in Ben Habib. Everything he said resonated with me deeply. One of the only people within Reform UK, even before Nigel Farage himself, I would have put Ben Habib as leader in 0.2. The way he spoke was nothing short of brilliant. Anyway, guys, I've gone on long enough now. Do let me know what you think in comments as always. Are you going to be voting Reform UK? Is there anything that you're a bit iffy about? Do you trust Nigel Farage? Do you trust Richard Tice? Do you trust the defective Conservative MPs that are going to be coming over? Do let me know what you think in comments. And I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.